Hello and welcome to Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Government of Karnataka. Lecture series on subject microwave and antennas. This is the first module and session 6. This session begins with the definition and application of Smith chart. This session explains you the basics of Smith chart and how to apply this chart with an example and some exams related to university examinations. Basics of Smith chart. We will see what is Smith chart. Smith chart is a graphical tool used to solve some complicated transmission line problems. Basically, what we are expecting in the from the what we expect the problems in case of transmission line is to find what is the impedance of the transmission line, what is the admittance of the transmission line, what may be the reflection coefficient. So these can be calculated using empirical formulas, as well as this can also be calculated using this graphical tool for solution of these things with easy method. So here on Smith chart, a normalized value is taken, a normalized value with respect to characteristic impedance. All parameters are divided with respect to characteristic impedance, what we call it as a normalized impedance, or it can be admittance or reflection coefficient, and is plotted to read the magnitude in radial direction, magnitude in radial direction, and phase in angular direction. We have two sets of readings can be taken from using Smith chart. One is radial direction, another is the phase direction, angle directions. That we will see when we look at how to use this Smith chart. Basically, the Smith chart is used to find the impedance or admittance or reflection coefficients in a graphical method. So this chart is constructed from the equation of input and load impedances normalized with respect to the characteristic impedance of the line. As I told, so it is normalized with respect to characteristic impedance Z0. So Zin is the input impedance divided by characteristic impedance gives the normalized input impedance. ZL is the load divided by Z0 characteristic impedance. This division gives the normalized load impedance. So Zin by Z0 will be 1 plus gamma L e to the power of minus 2 gamma D divided by 1 minus reflection coefficient gamma L e to the power of minus 2 gamma D. Similarly, this ZL by Z0 ratio is gives 1 plus Jx. So here this is real part and this is imaginary part and this is the load impedance. Separating complex load reflections into load reflection into real and imaginary parts. We are going to separate the real part and imaginary part of the complex load reflections. When I do that, so the generalized equation I can write in this form. It's gamma r minus 1 whole square plus gamma I minus 1 by x square is equal to 1 by x whole square. So here it is, this is the reflection coefficient and this will be the incident coefficient. R reflection, I represents an incidence. Then it is gamma r minus r divided by 1 plus r whole square plus gamma I whole square is equal to 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus r whole square. So these two equations will be the we got by separating complex load reflections into real part and imaginary parts separately. So these two equations represent two families of circle in the complex reflection coefficient plane. That is what is very important as shown in the Smith chart. These two equations represents two families of circles in the complex reflection coefficient. Layers of Smith chart in terms of normalized impedance, that is ZL by Z0, normalized admittance YL by Y0, and normalized length L divided by lambda are summarized as below. So these things will be summarized as below. Here, constant reactive X, this is the reactive part, and that one is the real part, fine, the resistance part. So the constant reactive X circles with radius 1 by X with centers at 1 comma 1 by X. So here the radius, this constant reactive circles with radius 1 by X, it centers at 1 comma 1 by X. This real part and this 1 by X is the reactive part. So this becomes the center for the circle. Constant resistance R circles with radius 1 divided by 1 by R with centers at 1 comma 1 plus R comma 0. This is the second one. So the second one, constant resistance R circle with radius 1 by 1 plus R with centers at 1 divided by 1 plus R comma, because those two equations represents the circle, equations of circles. So in that this will be the radius and this will be the center of the circle. One complete rotation covers a distance L by lambda in complete rotations along the line. The impedance and reflection coefficient repeat themselves at these intervals. So the impedance and reflection coefficient keep on repeats themselves at these intervals at the lambda by L by lambda distance. And complete rotation covers this distance along the line. And here in the Smith chart, so there will be a upper part, upper half of the chart represents inductive reactance Gx and lower half capacitive reactance minus Gx. Smith chart can also be applied to normalized admittance. At maximum voltage point, line impedance will be S, and at the minimum voltage, line impedance will be ZL by Z0. So there, for the minimum voltage point, line impedance will be 1 by S. For maximum voltage point, the line impedance is S. Center O of the chart, that S is equal to 1, the center point of the chart represents matched impedance. So extreme left side of the chart is represents horizontal radius represents open circuit, because under open circuit S is infinity, ZL by Z0. So when I substitute this, ZL by Z0 is infinity and reflection coefficient is minus 1. Extreme left and horizontal radius is on the left of the horizontal radius, so left side, so radius represents the short circuit. So under short circuit, uh, if S is equal to infinity, ZL by Z0 is equal to 0. See, this is very important. This is 0 here. The distance along the line is normalized with respect to wavelength and measured towards the generator and also towards the load along the periphery. The distance along the line is normalized along the line with respect to wavelength and measured towards the generator and also towards the load along the periphery. Circle passing through S0, that is S is equal to 1, is called the unit VSWR circle. This is very important. Circle passing through O center 0, S is equal to 1 is called the unit VSWR circle. So these are some basics parts of the Smith chart which you derived from those two equations which represents the equations of the circle. Application of Smith chart. So the Smith chart has number of applications. It is uses for the following. So as I said, this Smith chart is used to determine the input and load impedance in a lossless transmission line from the value of VSWR and position of minimum voltage on the line. To find the position of stub and its length for impedance matching. This is very important application. So for the impedance matching circuit, in impedance matching circuit, I need to locate the position of the stub to achieve a matched condition. There, to find the position of stub, we are using this Smith chart. And also it is used to find the standing wave ratio. It is used to find the reflection coefficient on the transmission. Let us see how we can measure this input impedance using this Smith chart. Let us consider line is having a value of R naught as 55 ohm, terminated in a resistance that is ZR is equal to 115 plus J 75. If the total length of the line is 1.183 lambda. So these are the given data assumption where we are taken a real part of line impedance line R naught is equal to 55 ohm and it is terminated in ZR is equal to 115 plus J 75. So calculate the input impedance using the Smith chart. So we need to find the input impedance. So first what we will do, we will calculate the normalized value of the load. That is normalized load value. So load is given as ZR. The ZR is given and it is normalized with respect to R naught. So this is equal to 115 plus J75 divided by 55. We get this value 2.09 plus J 1.36. Now the question is we have to locate this point. First locate point A having the coordinates 0.2.09 and 1.36. For this what we have to do, the first part, the resistance component is 2.09 along the horizontal axis, while the reactive component that is 1.36 on a scale at the inner edge of the bounding circle as shown in the chart. Thus point A is a intersection of Ra is equal to 2.09 and Xi is equal to 1.36. So that you can see that comes here. This is the point A. So along the horizontal 2.09 and this circle, inner circle which represents that 1.36. So it will be 1.36 will be somewhere here. So that 1.36 and here it is 2.09. That point A comes and fits here. So this is the point where you need to locate this normalized load impedance. Once you locate the point A, then draw a line from center of the chart to the point A. So from center, this is the center of point O. This is the center. From O to A, you need to draw the line. You need to draw the line from O to A. And you extend this up to the extreme end of the Smith chart, complete at the complete end. So this line is extended from center to the extreme end of the Smith chart. As we are traveling towards the generator side, move in clockwise direction and mark the distance. This distance is 0.212. So this distance that moving towards the 0. From here to here, this distance is 0.212 lambda. This distance. The total length is 1.183 lambda because this is the total length given. It is given in the problem that the total length of the transmission line is 1.183 lambda. If you travel from extreme right to left along the outer rim of the chart, the distance is lambda by 4. Then starting from extreme right point, if you reach back to the same point, the total distance traveled is. So from here, extreme right, you need to travel back side to the right, to the left. So here, you need to travel this distance, that is lambda by 4. Then it is 1 second lambda by 4. So that it gives the total lambda by 2 into 0.5 lambda. That is what I tried to say. Starting from extreme right point, if you reach back to the same point, the total distance traveled is 0.5 lambda. One circle, clockwise circle, anti-clockwise circle gives you the lambda by 2 distance. Thus, for distance or length, the 1.183 lambda, we may complete 2 rotations from the load to generator in clockwise direction. I need 2 rotations to get this value. If we start from the same point A in 2 rotation, we reach to the same point A. Hence, to get the impedance point B, so we have to travel a distance. This is the total distance given minus 2 times of the rotation. So 1 lambda by 2 is 1 rotation. So we go for 2 rotations. So 2 into lambda by 2. So this is the total distance. So from this to this we subtract, we get a 1.18 lambda minus lambda. This is equal to 0.183 lambda from the point A. So to locate B, okay, to locate B, so here it is B. So it is the 0.182 or 0.1831 lambda from point A. So let us locate point B. By adding this distance of travel with a distance of 0.212 lambda, therefore the point B is obtained from the following calculations. This is what we get this. And extra distance, this is 0.212 because the point is A point is from that point it is so to reach that extreme end horizontal line, so 0.12 lambda plus 0.183 lambda, that will give 0.395 lambda. So this 0.395 is here 0.395. You can see this point 0.395. So this point B is located, join this O and B. So you'll get a straight line. Extend this 0 point. So you got a OB point. To get coordinate of point B, draw the circle with center at O and radius equal to distance between point O and A. So you need to draw a circle, center at O and radius equal to the distance between point A and B. So this circle cuts the U axis line at 2 points. The distance of points of interaction of S circle with real axis at the right side center gives the value of VSW. So it is 3.1. So I need to draw here a unit circle. This is so that I have to keep this as a center and B as a radius, and I need to draw the and A as a B as a radius. I need to draw the circle VSW, and it cuts at C. So this is the point C. This is our 3 point. This on the radius axis, it is 3.1. Distance of C from the origin. So for this example, SWR is equal to 3.1. That is distance of C from origin. The point of intersection of S circle with the line OB gives the B, which is the generator point. So it is on the constant Ri circle with R is equal to 0.49. So you can see that. So it will be it is present. The coordinate is present at R is equal to 0.49. The point is below U axis. You can see the point is below U axis, not in upper part, it is lower part. And we working with impedance, hence the reactance below U axis is capacitive. As I said, if it comes in the upper part, it is reactive. If it is in the lower part, it is capacitive. Thus, point B is on constant xi circle with xi is equal to 0.65. So this 0.65 value gives the capacity value. So this is the real part and this is the imaginary part. So hence this ZS by Z dot is equal to 0.49 minus J 0.65. So Xi is, this is negative as nature is capacitive reactance. If it is a impedance reactance, then definitely this will be positive. So this is normalized one. I transfer this R naught distance when I have multiplied. So ZS is 26.95 minus J 35.75. So this is the impedance value of the load. So I with that particular length what is given in the problem, with that for that particular length, so ZS is this one. So it's a normalized value of generator impedance. Generator impedance. At ZS in the graph you can see that this is the generator input impedance. So the input impedance of that particular line is 26.95 minus J35.75 ohm. Measurement of SWR. See, as I said, this after plotting the load point on the chart, draw the circle with radius equal to distance between the center of the chart to the load point and mark the point where the circle cuts the real axis to the right side of the generator. That point gives the SWR. So that already I showed. So in this case, the OA cuts the real axis at point C. That C value is 3.1, hence the 3 point is 1. How to find the reflection coefficients? Once that value is got, S value, from the Smith chart, so we can calculate the magnitude of K as S minus 1 divided by S plus 1. So using this empirical formula, so I can calculate the magnitude of K. The angle of K can be read from the beta scale, which is the innermost scale. But this point on this BS scale can be obtained by extending the line from center of the chart through the load point to this scale. So from the scale we get directly the value of angle in degree. A line from origin is extended through a load point A up to the innermost scale. The line cuts scales at a point which corresponds to the angle 27.5 degree, which is the angle of K. So this will be here. You can see 27.5 degree at the innermost coil. And this O line is extended. So this angle which is gives the value of magnitude K. So you can find the voltage minimum and voltage maximum. So the intersection of earth circle with the horizontal UV axis gives the voltage minimum and voltage maximum points. Is the intersection point located on the left of the center. So this is the center point, yes. This is the center point. To the left it is voltage minimum, to the right this is voltage maximum. The left represents voltage minimum, while on the right of the circle represents voltage maximum. Where it cuts, that value gives the minimum or maximum. Now, how to find the this Smith chart is conventionally used to determine unknown impedance. So input and load impedance in a lossless transmission line. To determine unknown impedance, value of VSWR and the position of first minima from the terminating end on the line is find out. So locate the normalized load impedance A on the Smith chart that already we shown. Join the center point O and A, the extension of OA meets the periphery at point B. Rotation towards generator of L by lambda from point A to point C you got on the unit circle. These steps we already done. Draw an arch of radius OA and cuts OC at the point D. Point D gives the normalized input impedance. First voltage minimum occurs at D by lambda from the termination. Normalized impedance at voltage minima, that is equal to 1 divided by VSWR. So this is how you can find this particular that point D gives the normalized input impedance here. So first voltage minima occurs at D by Z. Once you got the D by lambda from the termination. Normalized impedance at voltage minima is 1 divided by VSW. So you know voltage minima is 1 divided by VS bar, voltage maxima is VSWR itself, value itself. That we see in the saw in the theory, fine. So from this you can calculate the input, normalized input impedance. So these questions you can attend. So what is Smith chart? List its applications. The characteristic impedance of the line is 50 ohm and SWR is equal to 2 when the line is loaded. Here SWR it is directly given. Its value is 2 and characteristic impedance is given, that is Z0 is equal to 50 ohm. When the line is shorted, the minimum shifts is 0.15 towards the load. So we have to check out whether it is towards load or towards generator. So depending upon that, the movement will be there, whether it's a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So using this data, you have to calculate the load impedance using Smith chart. So you have to calculate load impedance using Smith chart. So try this. So thank you.